Warchant TV begins right now with a couple of technical difficulties. Ira and I are here. Corey, we're just going to have to trust that you're here.
I'm here. I'm in studio, everyone. Keep watching. They don't see my picture. They're like, oh, God, this is going to be Corey.
Jeff like
and Ira.
Ghost. We'll get it fixed. In the interim, you get to look at Ira and I, and you can get to hear Corey. And for that, we'll say yay sausage.
You could come sit over here with me.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
How
about stand behind you?
Or on my lap.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead. Get cozy. Share a mic.
Oh, like Bruce Springsteen and what's his name?
No, he's Clarence Clemens. No, or Stevie Manzan.
Stevie, yeah.
He's under the weather. I don't want him.
You both sound a little like shaky. What is going on here?
Mine's from yelling in pickleball. We had a spirited pickleball this morning.
Oh, all
not
right.
in a bad yelling.
Oh, okay, I was going to say you're getting on teammates already.
No. It's just
like a good yelling in pickleball,
yeah,
like fired up,
like
fired up. You won
some spirited matches.
Okay,
but I see Corey. Now we
move it all around and we're golden. Here we go. Everything's done.
Go to Register Sausage is available in expanding footprint across the Southeast.
I can barely talk.
I'm fine. I'm going to power through.
Yeah.
It's
registersmeats.com. It's awesome. It's the best sausage on earth. Don't go to registersmeats.com for a while, though, until we get that thing set. But go to your store. Go to Publix. And ask your meat manager.
Or your local grocery stores in this part of the country. It's grilling season.
Oh, it's definitely grilling season. I did some major grilling this weekend.
Did you?
With some register sausage.
This past weekend or coming up? Because I don't remember.
This past weekend, buddy.
Did you invitation?
No, Dad was in town. The living dad of the group.
Father.
It was in town.
Well, that would have been really nice.
Yeah, it would have been even. He could have given hugs.
My dad's birthday is coming up. That would have been nice.
Oh man,
it's in September, but still, it's coming up.
I didn't think anything about it, Corey.
Okay,
sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
I'll go to register. I'll go to Corner Pocket and get some register.
Yeah, get some registered
bites. And but no, you can go to your local grocery store in this part of the country, and if they don't have it, ask them for it. And again, it's premium pork sausage, delicious. The website's a little struggle. They're struggling a little bit now because of the processing, the supply chain. But go to your grocery store and get registered sausage.
Hey, are you guys going to get to the game early tonight to take advantage of Luke Lauk's giving away beers?
I'm not a student. I don't think I could. I don't think I could.
Could you? I bet you. I mean, we could ask Luke. Yeah. I reached out to him when the announcement happened and said, "Hey, buddy," and he's like, "I got you."
I think I could pass for a student.
Oh yeah.
I still got that wig from
you got a wig?
5 years ago. I could put on. I look and get color my beard again.
It'd be a big upset to get him to 500. 12-12 if they can get the win over Virginia, who's won 20 games and only lost 3. It'd be quite the
Virginia's pretty good.
I'm actually playing hooky. Got a concert over in Jacksonville. American Aquarium's in town.
Oh,
They're back in Jacksonville.
Nice. That'll be a good show.
Heading over there. But Corey's got it locked down. Corey and Matt will be on the
Hold it down, Corey. Get that win, baby.
Are you going? Have you been to a game this year?
I've been to several games this year. I'm not going to tonight's game.
Okay.
What?
No.
Seems like the biggest game you could go to.
Well, today and tomorrow, kind of a big week for me. 20-year anniversary of my wife. We've got kind of some plans this week, buddy.
What's tonight? What's the Tuesday night festivities?
This is when we're having sex.
Oh, nice.
So tonight's a big one.
That is a big one, man.
Yeah, tomorrow
you gotta block
probably
out
won't have
some time.
Probably tomorrow won't have time.
You're going to be exhausted.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Tomorrow we can only bring ourselves to eat.
Yeah.
So today's the big one, buddy.
Oh, good. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Something like married sex. What a start to the show.
I'm pumped about it.
Last night in the Smash, I had to tell Tom the story about Tony Bennett. He didn't know about my beef with Tony Bennett.
You still hold on to that thing, buddy?
Of course, yeah.
And again,
you also hate Virginia Tech. You hated Seth Greenberg for good reason.
Well, Seth Greenberg was a real reason to hate him. I don't like him. I don't know that he's a great person. I don't know that Tony Bennett's a great person either. But
I don't know that he's not.
Your ire was at Tony Bennett when it should have been at the SID for not calling on your question and then just saying, all right, we're all done.
You don't think you don't think he works at the behest of Tony Bennett? You don't think he's doing the deeds that Tony Bennett wants
So Tony
done?
goes in and is like, I want 4 questions, then we're out. Maybe.
You were mad, but did you say anything to the SID that day?
Well,
you tweeted something, right?
You that. I was going to say. Because I remember this anger.
He and I made eye contact where he wouldn't call on me.
And you gave him the look.
Then he shut it down, and I said something. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they just walk out. Then I tweeted about it. And then people started tweeting at the SID.
Oh.
And he was like, I didn't see any other question.
I didn't see him.
But my point was, it was just ridiculous, dude. You're a grown man. You're allegedly one of the top coaches in college basketball. you don't need an SID to call on people.
Yeah.
And
he didn't want to talk to the FSU media or what he perceived to be non-Virginia media.
And what bothered me about it is he's built up as the ultimate gentleman, classiest guy in the sport.
He dresses so nice.
Meanwhile, Roy Williams would come in there and answer questions after Leonard Hamilton beat him. Mike Krzyzewski would come in there and be classy when they got beat by Florida State, except the one time he whined about this player safety.
Yeah. Which was nonsense.
Yeah, when he's
only the starters player safety.
I think was that Roy?
That was Roy.
Yeah, that was classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's it's still Virginia. Don't like Virginia. Number 15 team in the country.
And they play an exciting style of basketball now, if you can believe it. They score points.
Did you know about the freshman they have? It's 23.
I don't hurt your feelings.
He's 23 years
Belgium.
old. He played. I don't know if he's from Belgium,
Did he
but
play,
his
first pro.
He's from.
He
Belgium.
played 5 years of pro ball.
Yeah, that's the. See, well, listen, we just
it's
saw
ridiculous.
the situation at Alabama.
Yeah,
by the
thankfully,
way.
but
an Alabama judge denied that kid
Yeah.
the ability to play. But they do have to find some semblance of rules here regarding professional football because you have a ton of international players now, and over there they all go straight to playing pros. So you're a grown up man.
Theoretically, could Luka decide, man, I never got to play college basketball. I'd like to go play at Duke for a year or Florida State. What's stopping him if this kid could come and play?
Well,
what's stopping him?
Yeah,
he didn't use any of his eligibility. The thing with the Alabama kid is he started his clock.
Yeah,
but if you've been paid to play a sport.
Yeah,
it used to be you couldn't play.
Yeah, now they're all paid.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah,
now they're all paid. So the lines are blurred a little bit.
You know what I was thinking of is remember Corey Sorensen, the wide receiver, like 2010. Jimbo thought he was going to be awesome, and maybe he would have been. He'd only played flag football.
Yeah.
And then he got denied. He played like professional semi-pro flag football for a year,
and they said
it cost him his second year in college. Like that, and now where we are. 15 years later.
Oh, well, you want to cite any number of examples.
It's so stupid.
People have been tweeting.
That was stupid that he couldn't play.
Yeah.
And now this is stupid that these guys can play.
People have been tweeting the video of Peter Warwick on the sideline, like he's getting interviewed before a game, before the national championship game, I guess, or whatever game he was. No, it wasn't. I don't know if it was the national. It was the game, but he was ineligible for
Miami.
The Miami game.
Yeah.
And he's interviewing, and not just being interviewed on the sideline. It's like he's having to confess his sins to the world. Like he's being held. For what?
Remind people what he did, Ira.
He stole, not stole. He got a hookup on like three.
I was about to say, that's aggressive, Ira.
Some pieces of clothing.
Yeah.
He got a good deal.
From Dillard's.
On some pieces of
clothing. He and Lavernius Coles got like $500 worth of shirts and clothes for like $25.
Right.
Because they knew the woman working the counter. And they got a hookup.
And so he's ineligible. And then but again, to me, it told you two things. Number one, the fact that he had to go talk on camera and confess his sins in front of the world and be embarrassed. The fact that he did it and the fact that Bobby Bowden put him out there to do it, contrast that to the world now, if a kid drops a pass, they won't make him available to the media. If a player misses a shot, they won't make him available to the media. Bobby Bowden's like, yeah, man, talk to him.
Own up to it. Yeah.
I mean, that's just a crazy world.
Well, remember, who was the kid, his last name escapes me, Corey, you might remember, he was a wide receiver / kick returner for Colorado, Jeremy something.
Bloom. Right.
Yeah,
Bloom. Yeah.
Dude was a blur. He could really – he scored a touchdown against Florida State that game.
He was a skier.
Yeah, he was a skier. And because in his professional skiing life, he had a sponsor for his gear. They banned him. That was it. At the end of that year, they're like, no, man, no, you can't.
Todd Gurley missed 4 games because he got paid for autographs. This was a decade ago. This wasn't back in the 80s.
Well, and you can go all the way back, obviously, now if you think to Ohio State's scandal.
With the tattoos
and jerseys.
So I
Tressel got fired.
Yeah, he got fired for
I was thinking about that today, because I'm not a fan of where this has gone. I don't think anybody with any common sense or cares anything about college athletics is a fan of where this has gone. But the three of us have always been in favor of I thought it was absurd that somebody like Jameis or Peter Warwick got nothing. I mean, they got stuff. They got a scholarship
relatively.
and they relatively got very little. Meanwhile, everybody else wearing suits got more and more money on their backs. I get all that. Jameis deserved to be paid a lot here. He did. Ashton Daniels doesn't deserve anything. And that's no shot at Ashton Daniels. He hasn't done anything. And what we thought the NIL was going to be was paying for what you're worth, not a recruiting tool. And it's become just who has the most money to pay as a recruiting tool. And I always thought it was going to be, let's make this more equitable for the athlete. and then it's become inequitable between different types of schools.
Well, that's the way it was framed, was that your name, image, likeness. And I said at the time, well, if that actually happens, these guys are in for a rude awakening because so few players would actually make any money.
Has Darian Mensah done a commercial yet in Coral Gables? Was he in the Toyota commercial? Is he on a Toyota dealership yet?
He's going to be on every billboard in the city.
Well, you remember, Corey, just a few years ago, I came back from Atlanta. You must have seen this on a regular basis. I was coming back from Atlanta having visited my brother, and I remember thinking, boy, Georgia's got a real leg up in the NIL game because I'm seeing Carter and all these other defensive players on billboards for insurance.
Yeah.
And they were all
Marvin Jones was on one. Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah, they were all endorsing the same insurance company or whatever it was. And I remember thinking they're actually doing it. They've got these guys, and these were name players, so it made sense. They were all Americans in the SEC. I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's happening. I thought that's where this was headed. Of course, it never was. It was headed towards pay for play.
Well, and now here we are. And it's funny that just this week when the most recent ruling about that Alabama basketball player, the judge sided on the the NCAA side. The NCAA president came out and said, well, this is another small victory, but we still need Congress to intervene. They are just beating that drum.
Not going to happen, man.
And hope. And so the only reason I bring it up is because it's not because we talk about Florida State. We have talked a lot about Michael Alford and maybe making a misjudgment hoping that was going to happen. He ain't alone. Like there are a lot of people
of the NCAA is doing it
that are hanging their hope on that. Whether or not it ever comes, we'll see. But that is their hope. But in the meantime, Florida State has to reckon with the world that it is. And I do think that I get the impression that they've gotten that message.
I hope.
Now, whether or not they have the money to compete at the highest level, we'll see. But I do get the impression they've changed some things. They're working on adapting to the new reality until at some point maybe there is some guardrails.
Seems like a bright light on me. I don't get to see I don't have a computer
that's
in front
why
of me,
I was trying to fix those, but we had the problem.
I mean, I'm transparent. I'm translucent.
You'll be all right. We'll get you fixed.
I got to fix my seat. We got to fix that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's gonna be like
I'm like on a stage here.
It's gonna be like a pit stop in Daytona when we go to a break.
Everybody's gonna be sprinting in. Anyhow, so the game tonight, Florida State, Virginia. I'm gonna guess Florida State's roster is considerably less in terms of total cost than Virginia's.
Yeah.
While we're on the subject.
I saw Luke mention resources again yesterday for Virginia.
Come on, Luke.
He did. Well, I don't remember him mentioning it like that.
Well, I just saw the word resources. Virginia's put resources.
But it was funny. Before we got started, I did ask him because they faced the Houston point guard, who's awesome. He's a freshman. And then they faced Boozer and Caleb Wilson. And I was like, if you had a draft, if you were running the team with the number one pick and you played a lot of these guys, who would you take? And we had this conversation about the 5 or 6 really good freshmen. And then I'm like, man, why didn't you recruit any of those guys? Like, why didn't you get Darren Peterson to come to Florida State? Yeah. And he just laughed. He's like, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? And he's like, but hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. So, I mean, look, it is the reality that, and also it's a reality that how many guys are they going to have back off this team? 2, 3?
No, I think it might be a few more. We'll see.
But not many more than that because so many of the contributors are seniors. Yeah. So he's going to have to roll it back or run it back and find some other guy.
But I mean, that's the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
a bunch of expensive rosters were at play last night. But very quickly, I was looking at the Kansas-Arizona game. And did you guys know, just as an aside, we like statistics. I don't know what their roster costs, and I don't know what Arizona's rosters cost. But, I'm going to guess somewhere between $12 and $20 million.
Yeah.
Far cry from what we're doing here at Florida State. But Kansas at home has played as an underdog by way of point spread. So they're number 9. The team they're facing was number 1 Arizona last night. That's happened 15 times while Bill Self has been there, where the lower seeded team was Kansas at lower ranked team was Kansas at home in the underdog. He's 15-0.
Yeah, last night he did it without the number 1 pick in the draft.
Jesus, man. 15-0. Now, I mean, I guess if you're arguing about it, you could say Kansas should have a hell of a lot more than 3 titles in the last 60 years. But still,
especially since they were NIL before NIL.
Well, they were part of that FBI investigation that was cheating their ass off.
Yeah, there's other stuff. But it's also an awesome place to play. It's it's a really tough place to go win, but it's an awesome home court.
Bill Self was the first one. Well, I guess maybe Tarkanian might have been one of the first guys to really just thumb their nose. Remember, after the investigation, everything's going on.
Yeah.
They had their Midnight Madness, and he had pole dancing And it was just like, I mean, it was
Bill
like,
Self
come
did?
get you some
Pole dancing?
pole dancing?
something like it was crazy.
Pole
what they
dancing?
did. I think they did, man. It was crazy.
Wow.
Their
I
midnight
feel
man-
like that would be burned in my brain.
I'm gonna, at the break. That when
Well,
we're
no,
doing
the break,
everything
you're
else,
doing
I'm
the
gonna-
lights.
well,
You're doing
once
the
I get
lights.
that all done, we'll check into that.
I
But
think
yeah,
the university might have said,
he had,
I don't
dude.
know,
I'm telling
Bill.
you, he had a crazy midnight madness in the middle of all that. Basically, just telling
That
the
seems
NCAA
more
to
like
go
a
hell.
Louisville Rick Pitino thing because they got in trouble with that stripper, I thought.
Very
Yeah.
much a Louisville and Rick Pitino thing. By the way, so what year is Michael Brown Jr.?
Who?
Yeah,
He's a freshman.
Mikel Brown?
The Louisville kid. He's
Yeah.
a freshman, too.
Yeah.
But
so,
he played in the G League, I think, last year. He's a G League.
good
push-up.
God, man. I thought he was young. I didn't know he
Yeah.
was a true. So he was a
So
true
he's,
freshman.
he scored 45 last night.
So,
It's the best freshman class, maybe one of the best in our lifetimes.
So-
it has to be.
Louisville beat NC State by 40.
Yeah.
The same NC State team that beat
Yeah.
Florida State by 40.
118 to 77. Isn't that crazy?
Outscored him 62-41 in the second half.
62 points and a half.
And the kid that were Mikel Brown broke Cooper Flagg's record.
They're
from
also,
a year ago.
and they also, he and another teammate both had over 30 points, and it's the first time in 30 years an NCAA team where two guys combined for over 30 points and 15 threes. That was history. Like NC State just got ripped like they ripped Florida State 3 weeks ago.
Should be noted that none of that makes a difference tonight when you go to the TLC
Yeah,
and
if
the
you're a
first
student-
500 students get that free beer. They get rather vocal early, and the upset bug is in the air, and it happens, and the Noles keep the winning streak rolling. How about that? What a night.
Do you walk into the CCCC?
You don't just
No, you
stroll on
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the
yeah,
TLC doubles.
Now,
Unless you're
NC State did.
NC
That's
State
fine. That was a sleepy nooner,
is-
though.
Yeah, doesn't count.
Yeah, that didn't count.
I don't count it.
Oh, a school night? You're
Oh.
not strolling into the TLC double C.
You
Are you
don't
kidding me?
just roll on in
With
there
free
expected
beer?
to free beer.
Yeah.
Free beer.
It's probably
Maybe-
not Tavello, though. Tavello's not a part
Oh,
of
we're
it.
going to get to the Tavello right out
No,
the
I was
gates.
just asking
No.
if it's probably not Tavello.
Are they
don't
serving
think so.
Tavello at the TLC
I don't think so.
double C?
No,
I
so
think
it's
they're
still
gonna-
worth going.
I think they might have it at baseball, but I don't think they have it at the TLC double C. But I do think if the Noles win, Tony Bennett should have to come answer questions.
Even though he's
Just
not
to
the
make
coach
it up.
anymore.
Could you get
Just
his
to make
home
it up.
phone
He's not
number?
the coach anymore.
I know,
and he's not
I know.
even here.
They could bring him on
Okay.
Zoom.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
He's probably
Just let's make it right, Tony.
Yeah.
Let's make it right.
Tony is somewhere dressed snazzily.
Mm.
Maybe smoking a cigar at his mansion. Ira, if you could track down his number, you get him to comment on the game tonight.
I'm
Right
very
after.
happy that he's no longer coaching because his basketball
Oh,
was unwatchable.
it's like
I
stabbing
know
your
they were
eyes.
great. He was unwatchable. And this new coach, they go and try to score. They go try to put the ball in the basket. It's pretty fun.
It's not some old Naismith nonsense.
Yeah, it's
we're
not
watching
peach basket.
real
It's not
basketball.
peach basket
here.
stuff.
We're,
It's
we're
real
doing some things.
Modern college basketball.
Which I like. And hopefully Florida State will play well tonight. They have played well lately, well enough. Considerable step up in competition. By the way, Ira mentioned it, but later today, the bonus hour, it's me and Micah Posey. Tomorrow, for those listening to the show, you'll get Link, Jarrett, and Micah. So we'll get everybody. So we get the sneak peek for the people that are the higher ups at
have
Warchant.
y'all
Yeah,
talked
the
yet
Renegade
about
room.
I know we're going to break. Have y'all talked yet about the Notre Dame kids' free throws?
Yes,
Oh,
I talked about it on
yeah.
the air yesterday.
Unbelievable.
With Ira,
It's-
in fact.
Unbelievable.
Tom and I talked about it a little bit.
Attempting to bank free throws
It's unbelievable.
as a strategy, as a plan.
Do you
As a
remember-
23-year-old,
Yeah.
not as a 9-year-old just trying to hoist it towards
No,
the
no.
basket.
Remember
It's a-
Quincy Ballard?
Yeah.
He had the worst I'd ever seen. Worley,
Yeah.
Worley was pretty bad too, but man, this kid's a whole different level.
It actually saddened me. Like that kid
No,
has
no.
loved ones and parents that are there.
I saw
watching
him.
That.
I saw he's one of these guys. I saw him in a game where he faked a flop to draw a technical,
Okay, well then that's it.
flew
Remove
backwards,
it.
and then
Remove
jumped
it.
up and smiled and did T.
Oh,
So he deserves
yeah.
all your disdain.
All right, well, good. I was rooting for him to miss. Don't get me
Right,
wrong.
right.
But
I'm
thought,
glad he
man,
embarrassed
I mean,
himself.
This is humiliating.
If Corey were president, those guys would get arrested. Like he'd have that kid in jail.
Floppers?
Yeah.
I'm with Corey on
Unbelievable.
this. Yeah.
Kid's 270 pounds.
It's
You
not
can't
what we
push
do
him
at all. We
down.
can be flopping about. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole headlines, have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Blend, available exclusively at grassrootscoffee.com.
Grassroots Coffee, made for everyone, loved everywhere.
I got some pretty spooky news from my Paul's termite and pest control technician the other day. It turns out that I'm sharing my home with Formosan termites. Those little monsters do damage about 4 times faster than the regular termites. Fortunately, Paul's discovered them on a routine general pest service, and they've already turned the Formosans back using an amazing treatment called Centricon.
Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I, for one, am very, very pumped about baseball getting started this Friday, guys. This is, you remember, by the way, I was reminded of this.
But real quick, especially because they have the next Mike Trout.
That was interesting. I asked Link about that today.
Good.
Yeah.
So last week on Headlines, I said that I've heard some interesting comparisons, and that was what I was talking about.
You told me off air
because
who wants to put that?
I didn't want to put that out there. And I texted,
he's on D1
and
baseball.
I texted it to a buddy, and he goes, "Oh, Link actually just said that in an interview," and he sent me the link. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I guess we can talk about it." That's wild.
John Steitzer from Atlanta, everyone, because that's where the greats come from.
Stutz, and he is.
Is it Stutzer?
They call him Stutz.
It must be Stutzer then.
Yeah,
they apparently also call him Alley Cat.
Oh,
that's what.
I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
That's ridiculous.
That's what somebody told me.
Yeah. Like a little alley cat. What's that as a nickname?
I don't like it. The point is,
anything he wants to be called.
He's really athletic. Was a star receiver, running back in high school, and this is the first he's ever been able to concentrate solely on baseball. But let's everybody slow our roll because I do know that it's going to take some time for him. He's going to play, but he's not going to start.
Here's something I predict. He has a better college baseball career than Mike Trout did.
Well, that's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
And did you guys know, I did not know, that Blink had recruited Mike Trout? I had no idea.
I didn't either. What do you see in him?
I don't know. It's just a good guess.
So
basically just flipping coins.
We'll come back to baseball, but I just want to clarify. So in 2019, we find the story here from about Kansas basketball.
Yeah.
So it was their midnight madness.
Yeah, midnight madness. Yep.
Bill Self wore an Adidas shirt.
Okay.
But that wasn't thumbing his nose. The article's about him defending himself. Snoop Dogg came and performed.
Okay. Yeah, a little money thrown.
And women dancing on poles.
Oh, all right.
And Bill Self had one of those guns that shoots out dollar bills. This is in the middle of an NCAA investigation.
Yeah.
Adidas T-shirt.
Yeah.
Shooting bills out of a gun and Snoop Dogg and dancers on poles.
That's the way you should handle it, by the way. In
mean,
hindsight, that's the way you should handle it.
All in. That'd make a difference. Yeah, I remember that.
Bowden should have started doing ads for Foot Locker in 1994. Derek Brooks should have done it. All of them. Like Bowden should have been doing it. He should have been the Foot Locker national spokesman.
I remember being angry and talking about the schools that were caught up in the FBI investigation and saying, all right, well, we're getting to that area where you have like the University of Miami stealing Pell Grant money.
Yeah.
Like they did all those years ago where they got in trouble. Where you're going a 120 and a 70, right? Like at some point we're all speeding. My man, now you're just outright dangerous. Surely there's something going to become of this. And it didn't happen. And I remember thinking, well, so Kansas go on win the title having cheated openly.
Thumb your nose. Get Andrew Wiggins.
And just say, screw it. Just say, screw it. Didn't matter. Yeah, not good. Less than ideal. That wasn't that long ago at all.
No. But it was, again, he was cutting edge. Bill Self knew where things were going. But as far as baseball, man, it should be exciting. And I do think when you look at what they've got, we'll see. Again, the infield, you talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, infield defense could be interesting.
Well, it's just not going to be what you had up the middle last year.
Major leaguers up the middle. Yeah. I mean,
you're not going to have that.
You had stars up the middle and low, decent for row, and the way they turned it is seldom seen in college. I mean, it was MLB caliber. So you're going to lack some range there compared to last year, and I don't think it'll go as smoothly. That's not to say they can't play. Remember, coming off of the 24 campaign, we thought it'd be really difficult to be in the same neighborhood from a scoring standpoint offensively. And here we were headed into the ACC tournament last year, and they were within points of what they had done the previous season. So they develop players around here, and they bring in talent.
Yeah, and I think what's going to be interesting is you've got a lot of guys that can play, but you don't have those two superstars in the middle of the infield. And then from the pitching staff, I think they've got, from what it sounds like, they've got a ton of arms, a bunch of different guys. I'm curious what Mike Posey had to say, but they, you don't have a Jamie Arnold. I mean, and again, they've got some elite pitchers, but Jamie Arnold, other than a couple nights, was going to be just about automatic.
You know what's cool about college baseball? Tony Vitello, who now is the manager of Buster Posey's San Francisco Giants, he was talking. I was watching one of his press conferences because they're pretty fascinating. After he lost, I think they lost to Ole Miss in the Supers last year, and he's like, "Look, this environment, a college baseball environment like this, these players will never play in anything like this again unless they're playing in the Major League Baseball postseason. There is nothing that relates to a super regional or a regional college baseball final or a big series." And I was thinking about that, and it's true. Because when they get in the minor leagues, there's 2,000 people there. Nobody cares. They don't even care if they win or lose. They just want to keep climbing the ladder. But these are the moments where they absolutely positively care about winning, and the environment is a real sports environment. And that's just kind of cool that you come to Florida State or any of these big schools, but obviously we speak about Florida State, and you get 50 games of this.
Well, and you were talking about this yesterday too. It was a good show. You should listen to Jeff
I was on fire yesterday.
I was under the weather. I apologize. I could have
helped.
But just the quality of play now, because so many guys don't leave for the draft because there's fewer rounds.
Well, they shrunk the draft as you're pointing out.
And you can pay them a little bit to stay.
And you can pay them to stay. And the amount of time that it takes for a high quality college baseball player to make it to the majors now has shrunk appreciably. You got, obviously you get guys that were 1 year removed from playing college already making their major league debuts. We just saw it, a former Florida State player. But you have that happen now, and it's not that uncommon. It used to be kind of very shocking when somebody made it through the minor league system after coming out of college, even if they were really good, even if they were Golden Spikes Award winners.
Buster took a year and a half.
Buster took a little bit of time.
He won the Rookie of the Year in 2010. His last year here was 2008. Yeah. So, he took like a year and a half or so to get to the majors.
Well, they were worried about whether or not his power would translate at all because obviously, aluminum bats, and that's back when the aluminum bats were really hot. They weren't like what they are now, a little bit more akin to what you see in the majors where they deadened them. But it's amazing. And the point of bringing any of that up is that amongst the upper echelon of college baseball teams, top 25 teams, let's say, in certain circumstances and pockets, like you had up the middle last year with Florida State, you might actually have something akin to AA/, decent major league.
Well, you had Lodis and Farrow and Max Williams all up the middle.
Yeah,
with Jamie Arnold pitching on Fridays.
You were deficient at catcher. That's it.
But that's a AA. Yeah, that's a AA team.
Yeah, and it's fairly normal to see it now. I remember way back in the day, if you were a diehard baseball fan, Major League Baseball fan, you couldn't bring yourself to watch college because the vast difference, the bats, the rule, everything about it, it didn't seem like the same sport. It'd be like watching softball almost. That's not true anymore. Like your best teams are really good. You're seeing guys are going to play in the majors and soon.
All right, what are you reading?
I was trying to see how long
Cal
Raleigh was in the minors. It looks like
so he left here in 17 was his last
over
year.
3 years.
Yeah.
His debut was in 2021.
Yeah.
Now he's the best catcher in baseball.
Well, it was crazy.
He's on the World Baseball Classic roster too.
Yeah.
He and Aaron Judge, who stole the MVP from him.
The World Baseball Classic's fun, man. Those teams are loaded. You got superstar players. I
didn't realize, is it always in America?
I went down to Miami last time it was here.
Because it's like Miami, Houston, Tokyo, and one other place. But it's all 3 of the cities are in America, I think.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I would like to go.
It is fun. And one of the cool things about it, when I went the last time, you don't know what to expect. You've got teams facing. It's highly competitive. They want to win.
Is Skeens pitching?
Yes, Skeens pitching.
Do you want him to throw a shutout?
I want him to dominate.
You want him to go 9 innings and the championship?
Let's go complete game. That's a horse. You don't have to worry about my horse.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus,
also,
as long as he's with the Pirates, we're good.
It won't tank their season.
I was going to say, as long as he's with the Pirates, it'll be the biggest game he pitches.
Hey, buddy, we just took your guy, your wife beater,
Marcelo Ozuna.
Yeah, just took
allegedly.
Bold, sorry.
Bold move.
Yeah. Got a righty. Well, we actually went and signed 3 different offensive players this year.
Yeah, you actually did go
a little something to him this year.
Bit a little.
Speaking of trying to win, somebody sent me this. I assume somebody sent me a clip from an article where Seminole, new coach of Florida, apparently told his players, guys, we'll sacrifice a little on the GPA if we need to. We need to win football games, which I think most
fans. Did he really say that?
Yeah.
There's apparently a quote of him saying
it's from an insider that said he said it to his team.
That's awesome.
And
no, I mean, because, we know.
Well, he knows he can't get Norvell on that. They're setting team GPA records
That's right.
around here.
Nobody
talks about it, Jeff.
Nobody gives Norvell credit for his GPA, Jeff.
Setting records over here at Florida State. So he knew he couldn't win on that field.
Yeah, you gotta win in the classroom.
He's going to try to win on the football field.
That's smart. If he wants to take solace in winning on the football field, then go ahead, football coach.
Man, there's so many negative things that I'm accused of bringing to the table when discussing Florida State football. I could not bear to come in here and talk about the GPA. I'm already perceived as overly negative. What, you want me to come in here and talk about GPA?
Well, how they dominate the Gators.
How they're kicking ass in the classroom. What about the game of life, Ira? Are they kicking ass in the game of life, too?
Yeah, he's raising men. He's got fathers, husbands.
Kicking ass in the game of life and in the classroom.
Yeah, like Butch Jones at Tennessee. Remember when he said that?
100%. Yep. It's the sign you're about to be fired. It's a sign that you're failing miserably.
Is when you tout the GPA. Well, he wasn't touting it. Ira was touting it for him. This was John Sumrall making what I think is probably a pretty astute comment to his team. I don't really care if you get good grades as long as you're eligible. We need to win some games.
It's a heck of a thing to tell the players.
It's fine. They're all pros. They're all pros. They're here to make money. They're here to make money and win football games. Most of them. So tell them. But then they won't be here next year anyway.
And again, I'm not to sound Pollyanna, although this is going to sound very Pollyanna.
That's a good way to start a sentence.
So one of the things, and this isn't just to trash Jimbo, but just to say what can happen when you give messages like that, is Jimbo Fisher told his players that I don't care if you ever talk to the media. Like, I don't care about the media. Like, that's not something we care about. So that was how they interacted with us. Well, they interacted, a lot of the players at that time, especially towards the last couple of years, interacted with professors that way. They interacted like the message,
the people they came across.
The messaging from him was all we care about is people in the football program. So then what that does is it tells the players to not care and to disrespect people outside the program.
Which means fans.
Which
nobody cares if
everybody.
they disrespectful media, but that means you're disrespecting the fans as well.
But it's also, man, if you're not a good person away from the field, you're probably not going to be a good person, typically. A good teammate. I mean, that's my point. So when you say something like that to the players, it's a message long term to me. I mean, look at what Urban things fell apart there. Jimbo things fell apart here. When you start going down that road, it can have unintended consequences. Is all I'm saying.
What's crazy,
I think it's a bad thing to say to your players
is with Kirby in Athens, because apparently it's a Formula One team. That's what
whatever
he
you want to do. Yeah,
it's
not
ridiculous.
good drivers though. Formula One drivers can
well,
control
you're right.
the cars.
Well, I don't know that they're getting in accidents.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Well, the one, the other ones
the
ones just get clocked going 96 in a 45
or 130.
And they just don't care. There's no repercussions. They keep doing it, but they seem to have a good culture otherwise on the football field. But who knows what they're doing running amok in Athens if they are. I will say this though, because I was at FSU practice yesterday, and we haven't brought this up yet. Alir Malouk making those 2 free throws is crazy.
This also came up on the JCS yesterday, but I will tell you, it is crazy. The first one's a gift. It goes in, but that gave him the confidence net on the second
But it
one,
also had enough touch on the gift
to get the roll.
It got a roll.
Yeah, he got every part of that.
He's a talented player, man.
But also, I was bringing that up is because I was sitting there, me, Matt, and Liam from the Democrat were sitting there watching practice, Matt Lasser from Warchant's own. And he came up and he's like, "Hey, media, how we doing?" and dapped us all up.
Alir Malouk did?
Yeah.
Oh, he's feeling it.
Well, probably, but also I think he's a genuinely nice person, I think. And Luke wants them to do stuff like that.
But I also want to know, and to move off of that real quick, but I would love to know, I wish I had been there yesterday, because I'd like to know what's going on with Alir Malouk. He is talented.
He doesn't play.
He's a talented kid, and he was somebody that Luke really wanted to keep on this roster because there were other schools coming after him.
I think Luke said he's been pushed out of the rotation because they've tried to go small.
They have gone small, I get it, but he's a talented kid.
He also can shoot threes.
Yeah, he's got a nice touch around the basket. I mean,
he's got to eat.
To me,
he's got to get bigger.
No question. But I do think he can help you, and hopefully this is maybe.
It's also kind of BS, by the way, that you could just grab a guy intentionally on a made free throw, and that's
how he usually ended up in the scorebook without playing a single second.
But usually, when you intentionally foul someone when the ball's not in play, it's a tech. Yeah. But because it was on a box out, they were allowed to just grab and hold, and and I'm sure the coach even told the referee, "Hey, we're going to foul that.
Him.
Watch that. Watch this box out."
And I'm sure we told the refs that we were going to foul that.
I can't believe.
Why was he put back in the game?
To throw the ball to him. They threw the ball to him on an offensive possession.
Well, I brought it up yesterday that's the kind of thing that if you're a media member at Notre Dame,
he might have been asked, but
you got to ask that coach. Hey, brother, that kind of might have lost you the game.
I get having him in the game because you might miss a shot and you need him to go get a rebound, but you can't design a play where he's the first person to catch it.
Can't happen.
And shout out to Luke and the staff, because I've seen it a lot over the years in a ton of different sports. The awareness to tell his team, if that dude catches the ball kidney punch him.
Yeah, whatever.
Get him on the free throw line.
I was laughing when it happened. There was there's no way he's in the game.
Why is he in the game?
Why is he in the game is exactly right. I thought it was absurd. That's the kind of stuff. That's a first-year coach at Notre Dame.
No, he's third year.
Second or third year. It's a first-year coach at Florida State that recognized we need to foul this guy.
Alive. He's got to do better. That's terrible.
I like what I'm seeing from Luke.
I'm thinking about Odom, coach of Virginia.
Yeah, his first year.
First-year coach doing pretty well.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Your local news now.
The Perry Police Department is seeking the public's help in finding a man who was wanted in connection to a fatal shooting at a Perry convenience store. Ulysses Woodfalk Jr. was last seen fleeing on foot from Choo Choo's Convenience, located on South Byron Butler Parkway, following a fatal shooting on Saturday. He is wanted for first-degree murder while armed in possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Perry police said the suspect, Woodfalk, fatally shot Austin Shane Wilkinson and fled the scene with a handgun. Woodfalk has a violent history, including prior escapes, battery on law enforcement, and weapons charges. Authorities said Woodfalk is armed and dangerous, and if seen, do not approach. He is known as JR by members of the community, and he is most distinguished by missing one of his eyes. There is a $1,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. If you have seen him or know of his whereabouts, call 911 or call Perry PD at 850-584-5121. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 74. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 54 with fog in spots tonight. Overcast skies. Slight chance for showers with fog in spots early tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 76. Overcast skies. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 73.
Looking to upgrade your backyard, your business, or even your life? Then you've got to check out Southeast Portable Buildings right here in Tallahassee.
That's right. Southeast Portable Buildings has everything: sheds, cabins, carports, and now beautiful decks to go with them.
Imagine a brand new storage building and a deck out front. Perfect for that morning coffee or for your family gatherings.
Need something custom? No problem. They'll work with you to find exactly what fits your needs. Big or small, simple or stylish.
And with easy financing options, you can make your dream space happen sooner than you think.
Southeast Portable Buildings, where you're not just getting a building, you're getting a lifestyle upgrade. Give our friends a call today, 850-580-6400. That's 850-580-6400.
Southeast Portable Buildings.
Big buildings.
Big decks.
Big dreams.
Southeast Portable Buildings on West Tennessee Street, just north of Capitol Circle in Tallahassee.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Corey, by the way, just as an assessment of how slow Tony Bennett wanted Virginia to play, it seems like they're a lot faster now. I just pulled it up. According to adjusted tempo on KenPom, they're 288th. So we're Florida State's 19th.
But it must be just they shoot well because they're scoring
they
in
score
the 70s.
A lot. They score for them.
They're 19th in offensive rating, 21st in defensive rating.
Right.
So obviously, they're a really good team. They're really solid on both ends of the floor. They're very efficient, but it's not because they're playing all that much faster. They're playing faster, but not that much. That's how slow Tony Bennett was playing, because they're 298th in adjusted tempo.
Great.
And again, Florida State, this is one of the things we like about Luke. Let's go. They're 19th in adjusted tempo. So just something to point out there.
I do think, again, they blew that Wake Forest game. They really could have won that SMU game. They could be riding a 6-game winning streak, which is all coulda, woulda. But again, I had somebody talking to me yesterday about if they win this game, they'll shoot up in the RPI a good bit, or they'll shoot up in the net ratings. I'm like, man, they're not making the tournament.
They're not making.
They have to win the ACC.
They have to win the ACC. They've lost 12 games already. They're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way, and you're not going to get into the tournament at Florida State with 13 or 14 losses. So they got to win the ACC tournament to get in, and then they got to restock the whole roster. But as we said yesterday or last week, and what we said the last couple of weeks, it is such a good sign that they've made this progress, that they were just not spinning their wheels, doing the same nonsense, and hoping to get lucky, playing the exact same way they started the season with. They've changed.
It looked like a team that was going to be solely reliant on whether or not they were knocking down their three at an alarming rate to have a chance in any of the games that they played. Instead, they've made adjustments.
And Wiggins said something funny after the Stanford game. He keeps scoring in the 20s too. He's like, he goes, early in the season, it's like Coach Laux wanted us, he might have called him Luke, but he's like, Coach Laux just wanted us to keep chucking threes. That's how he termed it. We were just supposed to chuck threes. And he's like, now we're not doing that as much. It's like, Luke learned. Yeah, man, I know I had all these ideas when this season started, but now reality slapped me in the face a little bit. And maybe my team isn't the best shooting team in the country, and we need to adjust. And it's worked out to the point where they're a competitive basketball team. You get a better roster. You develop guys that are here 2 or 3 years, and you could become a good basketball team.
Well, man, again, I get what you're saying about restocking the roster, and they do. They have 5 seniors that are going to be gone. But I like Martin Somerville. I love Thomas Basong. I think those 2 guys are coming back. You've got the 4 or 5 freshmen coming in that are super talented.
Somerville's
good at class
really nice player.
Yeah, and it's good at class job in the country. And then now you just got to go find 3 or 4 good older transfer portal guys, which is doable.
Yeah, you can afford a few.
They got to get a little bit more money. Luke's out there fundraising, and if you want to help him out, reach out to him because they've spent a lot already in that freshman class. I don't think they have a ton of money left over, but he's going to figure it out. And what's so important about what they've done this last month is it's given people a reason to want to invest because he has done a lot with what he's got. And there's if they go to the ACC tournament, say they don't win the ACC tournament, but they just win a game, like play well there. Again, that's the proof of concept he needs to get the money to go get 3 or 4 transfer guys. And now you're going to have a good team next year.
I think when you're a program that is miles away from competing with, say, Kentucky at their roster in terms of the $20 million.
Yeah, it's a different sport than some of those schools are
playing. You got no chance. The best way to parlay this into some form of consistency in an era where you are going to have universities that are basketball first, Duke, for example, and others, where they're going to spend 15 to 20 million on a roster and you're never going to compete with that. You just have to be a team that makes the tournament annually or biannually, and you got to be where you're 6th or 7th or 8th in the ACC and not dead ass last. So to your point, when they were –
Wouldn't biannually be 2 times a year?
I don't know.
Oh,
could be
every other year, Corey. Every other year. Yeah. So every other year you make the tournament, or in contention to make the tournament. I think the key to this season, to your point, was that while they were residing in dead ass last and looking bad doing it, not just
embarrassingly bad,
they have since fought their way now to be able to be in the ACC tournament for starters. So that's kind of a modest goal, but you had to get there. You've won these games against like teams. You've been right there. You've played a little above your head in some games, North Carolina and Duke, for example, but you've shown the real sign of growth. But I do think it will be paramount that he have a good season next year and they get to the tournament, because I think when you're lacking resources, the way that you fundraise is to catch fire and create excitement with success early. If he goes 2 full years, it's not fair to him, but that's the reality, I think. If they go 2 full years and they're non-existent in the postseason, you lose the spark and the opportunity to go keep hitting people up for money. Whereas if you go and you have young talent, you say, hey, man, if you like this, we can get better. I need a little bit more out of you, just a little bit more. And now all of a sudden, you're perennially competing. People want to invest a little bit more.
Well, and he's given him a chance by doing this. He's given himself a chance because, again, man, when they were getting throttled, when the NC State come in here and win by 4, put up 113 points.
Not just that, when the A&M too was Georgia. Those were gross.
Dayton. I mean, you wondered if, again, when he came in, when Luke got the job in March, man, he was selling. Well, he's been selling before he got the job. He was going to people, boosters, donors, trying to get money to build this roster. And that all sounds good when you're the new guy, but you have to show something. And they've shown something. And so there's nobody that he can go talk to and ask for money that's going to be wondering, I don't know, can this guy coach?
Can he even coach?
Yeah.
And look,
that's been answered.
They're an underdog tonight. It's the best team they've played in a while. There's a very good chance they lose. That does not mean that the progress hasn't been made. It'll be nice. It'll be interesting to see how they respond if they do lose in their next game. But yeah, they've shown a lot of the way he's responded is what I've been most excited about.
Well, and then look at these guys individually. Jeff and I were talking about during the break when you walked off wherever you went to.
Had to get water.
It's hydrate.
And blow my nose.
When you look at guys individually, they're getting everything they could possibly get out of Alex Steen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're drenching everything.
He is. Yeah. Exactly.
Everything
right.
you could get out of Alex Steen. I would say Wiggins. He's playing the best basketball by far of his career. Leger Jones is playing. He's playing
starting
better.
To play.
Yeah. He's actually, I think, efficient. He's averaging more points and rebounds per game in less minutes than he did at St. Bonaventure. So like their guy Martin Somerville, the way he's played, like you're getting the most out of all these guys individually, which is, man, that's just awesome. It's great for Luke, but it's also great for that coaching staff to be able to do that.
Because no offense to those guys, and in Somerville, who I like a lot, and I hope he does come back because I think he's the kind of personality you need on the team.
Yeah, I agree.
He is not an incredible athlete. He is not an ACC athletic point guard or a guard.
But
he is a mother effer, man. He is a guy that you need on that team. Alex Steen, same way. He's not a forward in the ACC athletically, but he tries. And so if you can keep a guy like Somerville and just replace the guys that you have to replace with a little bit better version.
Can I just real quick, Glenn in the chat?
He wants to know the question about UConn.
Well, he's like, do UConn and St. John's have huge NIL situations? 100% yes.
Massive.
Huge. Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. Because they're not spending it on football.
They're not spending it on football. They prioritize basketball.
Especially St. John's.
St. John's is pretty much all basketball. This is the one area to answer. Yeah, and Ira, you were going there. Glenn, this is where the basketball first programs were going to have an advantage, and it was going to kind of shake things up as we move forward. If you're a program like Villanova or something like that, and I understand they have football. Howie Long played there. That's the only player we know. Westbrook, didn't he play there too? The running back. Anyhow.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one for the Eagles.
Get off,
yeah.
buddy.
Come on.
Anyhow,
Yeah,
so that said, if you're at a school like that where basketball is that's your brand, that's your cachet, that's what you've done, you're going to sink. Whereas Florida State puts 90% or more of their rev share money in football, they're doing that for basketball. So you're looking at players, in some cases, I just looked it up while we were talking because I wanted to answer the question. One of the players for UConn is said to make $1.5 million, $1.7 million. That's one guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason Pitino's at St. John's is because of this, because of the money that they promised him. That's why he took that job. That's why he stayed there. He didn't just pick a school that was willing to take him. He took a school that was going to put in that kind of money. So, yeah, man, those schools are – and I honestly think that's why you've seen the BYUs – well, BYU is at the front of the train, but that's why I think you've seen the Kentuckys and some of these other schools spend so much in basketball because they knew that those basketball first schools
we're going all in.
We're going all in.
Yeah,
on
and then Florida looks like Florida now again, which is not great. Yeah. But they went on the road and beat A&M by 40 points or whatever they did. But yeah, you look at.
But he did exactly what you said.
He won.
He won early, and then that got.
Yeah, there's proof of concept when you go win a national title.
When you win the national title.
With a really good roster, but he won a national title. But yeah, you look at the top 10, and you've got Arizona. I mean, they're spending a lot of money on basketball. Kansas. I mean, those are basketball schools.
I do like the tradition-rich schools like that, where basketball is first and foremost, and that is a revenue sport most places. That's a big deal, right? It's part of the big revenue draw. But I wonder how long until we start to see the diversification like we have in football. Like I think you're going to – now, look, there's so many more teams, and every year there's a Cinderella and all that stuff. But, I mean, like because some of these programs don't have football to worry about, and they can just sink all – like if you're Gonzaga, you're already good. You should spend 98% of whatever you have in basketball.
Well, I'm curious, and David asked in the chat about Clemson. Yeah, the thing about Brad Brownell is, to me, I think he was in a perfect situation where he had put a program into place before this, and so he was able to win with a certain level of players like the Scheffler kid and some of those guys that were not going to be huge NIL guys, but he's got a system. And I don't think you could come in 2025 or 2026 like Luke Laux and just start without a big NIL budget. But he already has his program in place. But yeah, man, the thing is when you're Luke, and again, Florida State fans, people are doing whatever they can to help out the program. But yeah, Florida State's not spending anywhere near the Floridas or Alabamas or LSUs or any of those schools. That's why Will Wade, honestly, it was kind of fitting. And the reason I was so down after that butt kicking they did here for NC State was Will Wade did show an interest in the Florida State job till I think he found out what they were going to spend on NIL.
He's like, no thanks, guys.
Yeah, this isn't what we want to be doing.
All right, headliner questions forthcoming, second hour, Seminole Headlines. Stay with us. As always, Seminole Headlines, 93.3, Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. A new year and much colder days, I must say, lately. I wanted to get some new pieces for my winter wardrobe, so thankfully Quince came on board, and they sent me some stuff. In fact, how about a little Mongolian cashmere sweater? You can get that, or you can get a wool coat or leather. They have everything you could possibly want. Italian leather at that, by the way. That seems special. Anyhow, I liked my Quince stuff. The wool coat that my wife got. I got a little warm-up outfit, for workouts and such. Hold it up nice. You can refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/headlines for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. It's now available in Canada, too, by the way. Any of our Canadian listeners out there? That's Quince, QUINCE.com/headlines. Free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/headlines.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachia Parkway, just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Hey, Knowles fans, it's Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, proud sponsor of the Jeff Cameron Show. If you feel like the housing market is on a losing streak, I can help you find new momentum and respond. Waiting for mortgage rates to drop could actually cost you more in the long run. When rates fall, home prices and buyer competition go up. That's why I'm helping Knoll Nation to get pre-approved now. So when the perfect home hits the market, you're ready to score before the other team even lines up. Whether you're buying your first home or upgrading your dream home, I'll guide you through every step with passion and preparation. Let's get started today, and you can do that at loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping Knowles everywhere find their home field advantage.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. You're listening to Seminole Headlines with Ira, Corey, and Jeff. Stay tuned for more headlines coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Denny Hamlin, the new favorite to win the Daytona 500 at 9-1. William Byron, Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Larson all at 10-1. Joey Logano is 12-1. 45 drivers entered into the field qualifying Wednesday. Duels on Thursday. 41 drivers will race at the Daytona 500. Scotty Scheffler plus 270 to win this week's Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Rory McIlroy, the defending champion, the second choice at plus 1350. It coming up today in college basketball. Florida State plays for its fourth straight win. That's a 7.5-point underdog against Virginia. 150.5 the total at the Tucker Center. Score $500 in rewards at the GBank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400, or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, got to get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. It's MillerSeptic.com.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories. bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27, in your neighborhood.
Injured? Call Fasig Brooks and come back stronger. Offices, Tallahassee.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Headliner questions coming your way in just a moment. First, though, we thank Dr. Birch and Birch Orthodontics. Best in the business, have been for a very long time. We thank them for their support and also that expertise aforementioned.
Yeah, a lot of you, if you have kids that are getting into those middle school years, not middle age,
middle age,
getting to the middle school years, it's going to come up. You can hope it's not. You can hope their teeth are going to be perfect. I sure did.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking forward to having braces, having to pay for braces. But again, Dr. Birch and her staff do awesome work. So if you are going to go down that road, don't just go to the first orthodontist you've heard about or the one near your house. It's a 18 month to 2 year process where you're going to be in that office a lot. You're going to be talking to those people a lot. You want to go to one where it's
more important than buying a car.
Like the people. It is.
You should put more work into this than you would research into this than buying a car.
And really, it's it's not just the work of getting the braces on, but then how they relate to the kids is really important. And I think we saw that firsthand. It's just like getting them to wear the rubber bands, to do all the things they have to do. And then the fact that she does make it great in terms of customer service, payment plans in the office, just kind of no hassle, no aggravation. It's just a smooth process. And she's a huge Florida State fan. It does great things for the community. Ride or die.
She is. And loyal like that, same sort of passion she has for Florida State, this show.
100%.
And her sponsorship.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say for teeth.
Unwavering. No, it's more important that she sponsored this show.
Than her passion for teeth. Yeah.
And the website is birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com. And you can set up a free consultation. Again, they're the best in the business.
Logan wants to know who will win more ACC road games this year, Luke Laux or Mike Norvell. That was a big road win for the Noles. He's already got one.
He's got the odds-on favorite at this point.
He's got 2, right?
Does he have 2?
2 road wins? Yeah. Yeah, he beat Miami.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we forget that. We always do that.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Miami like it's nobody's business.
Yeah, Luke's a heavy favorite at this point.
Oh, yeah, because Mike would have to win 3 road ACC games this year. Road games, period.
Yeah, 3 road. So he plays 4 ACC games on the road. He's going to have to win 3 of them.
That's just not.
No chance.
I don't know how we could ever expect. I mean, that's unreasonable.
No. Who does that?
That's ridiculous.
Who does that anymore?
Ridiculous. R.A. Knoll writes, gentlemen, if Coach Mike Norvell opened 1 practice a week to media, but he stated it would be Tuesday afternoon, would you take that personal?
Oh, that would be funny. From 1 to 3?
Yeah, 1 to 3.
Well, we'd move the show. We'd have to
pre-record the show probably.
We couldn't pre-record it. We'd have to record it after we saw the practice. What's the point of having a show if we can't talk about the practice we just watched?
We just tell
and then
everybody
6 days later, we would have to do it the next day.
We'd figure it out.
We'd figure it out. But we would have to go to practice.
There have been plenty of
we could do it from practice.
Well, that would really be a shift in policy.
Yeah, we're right in the middle.
Not only are we opening it up, guys, feel free to broadcast live on the sidelines from practice.
And it's just us just watching and barely talking on the mic.
Great.
And we could do one of those things like morning radio used to do, like the prank phone calls.
Yeah,
and we could call Gus.
Hey,
Gus, you'll never believe where we are right now.
Can you believe this?
Chilling at practice. Listen to the sounds. It's great. Do you miss it? And then the second part of his question was, will we ever hear the term lack of institutional control again?
I mean,
well, we didn't hear it with Michigan, did we? And they certainly had a lack of institutional control.
Yeah, that's a pretty obvious.
There's no way. I don't think there's any way you'd hear it anymore, right? Unless there was like one of your players was a serial killer. And kept telling you he was.
And you just ignored it.
You just ignored it.
Really
you just ran it up the chain.
He's the best tight end in football, everybody.
Yeah.
Did I see Jeremy Pruitt's like back in the game? Like somebody's trying to hire him or has hired him, something like that? I'll look it up.
They're looking at Jeremy Pruitt's track record saying it's nothing now.
Pruitt was ahead of the curve.
Back.
He was getting great players for like $10,000. I mean, good grief. That guy knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Burke wants to know what percentage chance that we would put on Mike Norvell being the head coach here at FSU in 2029.
2029.
2029.
Woo.
2029.
Percent chance, Corey.
2029. How would you even deduce that? How would you come up with that?
The first number that came in my head was 5%.
I was going to say 10. But, well, I mean, because the NFL will come calling after these next 2 years, probably. Well, the Falcons are going to have to hire someone again. I don't think Stefanski's the answer.
I mean, because the reality is, if he does turn it around, like, he might look to leave. You know, I mean, who knows? I mean, that would be an incredible turnaround.
It would be an incredible turnaround.
If he had the chance to still be here in 2029.
Yeah, I would start, if we were trying to figure this out, what are the chances he's still the head coach after 2026? And so from there, you can start to add on. Because if you do it that way, you can say, all right, I actually believe he will be, not solely because of the money.
I think it's a 33 to 40% chance.
That he's the coach. Okay.
Yeah.
So but
if he is the coach next year, I'm going under the premise that he must have had a pretty decent season. Now I could be wrong,
but that's my point. That's how you would do it. It's a jumping off
point.
So
if he is the coach in 2027, then that means 2026 went pretty well, and maybe he builds upon that with a really good 27.
Well, I think 2027 would have to be good because it wouldn't. If you took a step back, I think then you'd have to make a move because you'd be 2 years further down in any goodwill you gained in 2026, if you took a step back in 2027, then people would be like, well, this
what
is
if he
ridiculous.
went 8-4 the next 3 years?
Yeah, that's not good enough.
You think he'd be gone?
I don't know if he'd be fired, but it's not good
enough.
I
know that. But I'm saying if he went 8-4 the next 3 years, is he the coach in 29?
Probably.
That's
maybe
not cool.
Get you a couple road dubs in the ACC each year.
Let's get 1-8-4 in the bank, and then we'll start talking about it.
Let's bank one of them.
Let's start banking our 8-4s, and we'll make a decision.
Yeah.
See how we feel after that 8-4. Oh my Lord. Appreciate the time, guys. Writes Clint. What's the most pressing thing AD Michael Alford needs to accomplish in order to regain the trust of the fan base? Well, they just got to win football games, Clint. I mean, look, however you want to look at it, this all starts with that football program not sucking ass like they have for back-to-back seasons, because whether or not we're arguing about Norvell's more to blame, Alford's more to blame, the system's more to – it's irrelevant. Fans look at Florida State football and say, this is embarrassing. They can't win a road game for 2 years. The aggregate over 2 years is that they're dead ass last in a average to subpar conference. Please make it stop. That's all they say. They're just to the heavens. Please show me competence. Well, so that, to me, if they're not good, he's going to be fired along with Norvell at some point.
Well, the reason you want to be the AD at a school like Florida State is because you know you're going to have the resources to do cool things. Like it's going to be a great job in terms of getting things done as an athletic director. And we've seen that. Look, the budget, Florida State's budget this year, in the last fiscal year, before revenue sharing, was over $200 million. That's what they spend on athletics. That's a ton. I mean, 5-6 years ago, it was like $150 million. Mm-hmm. So Florida State spends money on athletics. They also make money on athletics. When you look at, football coaching salaries, they're going to pay a coach $10 million a year. These are the jobs you want to be AD. That's why you can't then use as an excuse, the sport's out of control for why we're not good.
No, you can't do it.
Because no, man, this school has proven they're all in. You have to figure that out. You wanted this job because you wanted those resources. You wanted to be able to go $400 million into debt to build all these buildings. And that's the reason you got it is because they want to win. So you have to figure out how to compete.
Yeah, that was my point when I would get angry with him when he would talk about or he would message behind the scenes about we didn't like candidates. No, dog. You're in it to win it. If a guy's failing, I don't care who the candidates are. You got to move on. You can't worry that it won't work. That's not a way to operate. That's operating in fear. Yeah. You may not love the pool of people you have to choose from this go around, but
I
it's
do
so
understand
interesting that one though.
I do understand the I understand where they're coming from.
But I also understand. We both understand both sides. Like, yeah, man, you can't just be afraid of the next guy being. Well, this guy isn't it.
That's what I mean. Once he's not it, I don't care. I mean, look, you can.
You're hoping
you
now
have,
that
you
this,
might have to be bold, Ira.
No,
that's my point. Like, you might have to be bold and say, you know what? There's a relatively unknown assistant. This guy Kurt Signetti or whatever it is.
He's known now.
No.
People know who he is now.
I know. My point would be that, I mean, Indiana fell into it.
Yes.
I know that's not fair, but there are plenty of guys who got chances because the school maybe didn't love some of the big names that were out there or have the resources, and they gave a guy a shot, and the guy turned out to kick ass. The guy turned out to be a very good coach, and nobody would have been able to project that with any degree of certainty.
Yeah, the problem is, I think at Florida State, though, you're in a situation where you can't go hire like Wake Forest. Like, you've got to go get a guy and commit to them.
But we both agree that's not the future.
Well,
that's
I
not
agree
what
with
football
you,
is anymore.
But
you
you
didn't
also
have to go get Lane Kiffin. You can go get some other guy.
You can't be the Woodward guy at LSU or Texas A&M. You're not there either, where you can you made a huge mistake with Jimbo. All right, here's a check. Now we'll go get Mike Elko. Like, I don't think Alford has that in him because he was too bold 3 years ago. That was too bold. In hindsight, don't pay a guy $10 million a year.
They felt they had to keep
but
him.
I'm saying, but in hindsight, that was a bet. We all know hindsight, it's 2020 and all that, but he was bold then. And now you're saying you need to be bold again. He's like, well, I got kind of burned by spending all that money the last time. Maybe I should pump the brakes. I can see that side of it too. But in the meantime, because of what happened 3 years ago, you're kind of stuck here, and it sucks.
Yeah, but my point is that...
How articulate was that, Ira? Was that as articulate? That's one of my columns. I felt like one of my columns.
My point was there are a lot of good football coaches. Anymore, it's about fit. It's not about getting a massive name.
Oh, yeah.
You can go get guys that aren't huge names. It's just whether or not... And you don't know. You're never going to know.
No, for sure. But
you're never going to know. But let's say you went and got Hartline.
Right.
I'm just using him as an example. A lot of people wanted Hartline, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know. Maybe it doesn't work out. Hartline's never been a head coach. Maybe he's the next great thing.
He could be. Yeah. Again, I where they're coming from is the idea that they do have this $400-something million in debt now because of the football facility and the Doak renovations. They do have $50 million or $60 million that they would owe Mike Norvell, plus his staff. And then if you go out and get another coach where you've got to invest $40-50 million and then have to fire him in 2 or 3 years, there was a real concern that could be it. That could be like a crippling blow for Florida State athletics because how are they going to pay off this debt if they're not making money with ticket sales?
They keep incurring debt.
So that's the concern. So their approach was, and people have phrased this as just kicking the can down the road. And I know you and Tom did your thing about how they just don't care. I don't think it's that. They're just trying to figure out what can they do to help this guy win now, because they feel like that's the better approach. Now, you might think he's broken, and we'll see. Maybe he is broken.
Well, he's certainly broken beyond what he would have been allowed to hang around for already.
The contract saddled him. And again, I made this point a month ago when we had this. It's not even a debate. I think we're all kind of on the same side because they don't care about the fans right now. They don't. They kept a guy that is very unpopular. Well, they cared about him too much 3 years ago. Like, they could have let him go to Alabama, but they cared about, and I'm saying they cared about the fan. But
I agree.
They did it for the fans, because it would have been such a crippling blow to the fan base to lose that guy to Alabama.
And I think
so they made the mistake caring about the fans too much 3 years ago.
If we project forward, I think what people fear, though, Ira, is that it's still going to be very expensive after this year. Are we in perpetuity stuck with this albatross around our neck?
Whittling it down. I don't know how many times I have to tell you what the motto of this season is. You're whittling it down.
That's why you get questions like the one we just had.
No, I get it. I understand
because
it.
some people at some point are going to say, "Look, man, that's not tenable."
But I get you. I just think it's not an either or. It's not man. Everybody involved to the highest levels know that Mike Norvell and his staff have done a crappy job the last 2 years. I mean, it's not like they don't know that. They're just trying to make a decision that they think puts them in a better position.
And it's not the NFL. Like, where what sucks is when Raheem Morris isn't any good, Arthur Blank pays him off. The fans don't have to pay him off, and you didn't have to pay him a crazy contract. Like, that sucks too about college football. It's so much like the NFL, except for the payment structure.
Right.
Well, Clint, just to answer the question, at the end of the day, Mike Alford has to hope and do whatever he can.
8-4, baby.
That Mike Norvell gets this thing winning, because I think the two are going to be inexorably linked, obviously, right now. I mean, he's the mouthpiece for the athletic department. The coach is failing miserably. We're told, that you got to be good stewards at some point. I mean, if they keep losing, the AD gets fired. Big-time college football programs fire their ADs when their program's not any good. Brad writes, superstition alert. Do y'all believe the Super Bowl logo tells you a certain team is going to be in the game? The next one suggests it's going to be the Dolphins.
Well, I don't believe in it.
There's no reason to believe in that.
What is that?
I don't know what that is. I have no idea. No.
You heard it? No, I haven't heard it either.
Is it like a team color combo, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I don't even know who the Dolphins quarterback is. Who is the Dolphins
Tua until further notice.
He's still on the team?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then maybe they will make it.
No.
I didn't know Tua was back.
I think they're in trouble, buddy. I don't think it's going to work. But yeah, no, I don't. You did give us the superstition alert, so obviously you don't believe it either, but it won't be the Dolphins.
Shout out to the Seahawks, though. They did the Lord's work in beating the Patriots.
Yeah, I was wondering.
And Robert Kraft.
It was my wife, Kim asked me during the game. She's like, so are people still at the point where they root against the Patriots?
Oh, of course. They have 4 years of failure, and then they're right back in the Super Bowl with a 23-year-old quarterback who looked horrible, which was cool to see.
Yeah.
He did look horrible.
And it was a shout out to Belichick's girlfriend. Great shirt. Did y'all see that?
No.
She wore the shirt of the spa where Robert Kraft got busted for getting a happy ending. She wore that shirt to the North Carolina Duke basketball game on Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
Like Palm Spa or something.
Right.
She wore the T-shirt of where he got busted.
That's cool.
Unbelievable.
Does he think Kraft is the reason he didn't get in the hall?
Who knows?
Yeah.
They're all insane. Oh, good Lord. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment. Have you heard of Goldbelly, everybody? It's an amazing site. I order from it all the time. You can get the iconic, famous foods from restaurants all across the United States. That's the gist of the whole thing. So, like, if you got a big game day or Valentine's Day, since that's coming up, really anything else that you've got going on, you go to Goldbelly and you look at what I did just this past weekend. Pat's, King of Steak, cheesesteak. You've ever had their Philly cheesesteaks from Pat's? Me too. I've had them in Philadelphia, and I saw it was on the list of places that I could order from Goldbelly. I did. I know that that's one of many restaurants. You could go and you can get the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, the Malnati's, deep dish Chicago pizza if you wanted. Really, any of the famous restaurants. Joe's Stone Crab down in Miami. I saw that on the list. That's next on my horizon. Quality food, ease of shipping. Got here. It was packed in ice. I was ready to roll. Easy instructions. I was eating a cheesesteak with my two boys while we watched football. It was absolutely perfect. I love the experience. I'm going to do it again. Whether you're looking for a game day that turns into an unforgettable experience with friends or want to impress a loved one on Valentine's Day, all you got to do is go to goldbelly.com, get 20% off your first order with the promo code HEADLINES. That's right. That's goldbelly.com, code HEADLINES for 20% off your first order. Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark Construction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
All right, this question comes from
Well,
Robert.
first, clarification. I like to apologize to all the listeners and viewers.
Okay.
It's, Orchids of Asia Spa.
A lot of people knew that.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
A lot of people seem to jump right into the chat and let us know.
I apologize. I didn't remember the name. I thought the shirt she was wearing had palm trees on it, so that's where I came up.
And Brad tells us in the chat that apparently, he says, unfortunately, the last few years, some people believe that the color of the Super Bowl logo was going to lead to the team making the championship game.
That's what I said, right? Well, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, because those were very colorful, the logo for 6. Right. So that makes sense. Yeah, the Dolphins. Very colorful. Just remember the poor Dolphins, man. I mean, they have a run where they are a dominant franchise, and, you get this quarterback.
For like 12 years.
And Dan Marino. Yeah. And you think, oh, man, the future's bright.
You lucked into him. He's like the last pick of the first round.
In year 2, he goes to the Super Bowl.
That's what I was going to say.
Haven't been back since.
It's crazy to think about that.
42
it's been 40 years. Over 40 years ago
since they've been in the Super Bowl.
But yeah, man, like you just thought they're going to be in it every year, and they should have been with the offense they had.
By the way, they haven't won a playoff game in 26 years.
Unbelievable.
Is that true?
That's true.
So Marino was the quarterback?
In 2000 was when they won.
Oh, so that probably wasn't him.
No, I would Chad Henning or whatever. No, who was it?
No, it wouldn't have been
him. It might have been right around then. Like he
would have been like
then.
I thought his last game they lost to the Jags like 63 or 6 or something.
Blown the hell out in the playoffs against the Jags.
That was like 98.
Yeah, late 90s, Kim and I went to a Dolphins game, and she was a little fixated on Dan Marino, to be honest.
Oh, all right.
Tell her he's an ass.
A little too much
he's a jerk.
Looking at
he's
Dan
like
Marino.
a world-class jerk.
I think she was looking at his
ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy.
Well, I don't think she was worried about that.
She wasn't worried about nice.
She had a nice guy.
Yeah,
she's
looking for something else. Yeah.
She's like, all right, you're a lovely man. Yeah. Have you ever met Dan Marino? She should have asked you.
We're getting from multiple outlet or not multiple sources. Jay Fiedler was the quarterback.
There you go. There you go. Fiedler on the roof.
There's a lot of Dolphin fans that are just
man. They hold on to it.
They remember it. They're like, damn it, man, it's ridiculous. Robert writes, what's more likely to happen? The baseball team and the softball team get to Omaha and Oklahoma City, respectively, or the football team wins 2 road games?
I say football. It's very, very hard, even with good teams, to get to Omaha and Oklahoma City. Especially, Florida State softball team last year was pretty good, and they had to face her.
Yeah, I mean,
$1 million arm.
Yeah.
It's a tough
Who's
call.
back, by the way? They face her again this week.
Yeah, this is a week from hell.
Yeah. They got number 1, number 4,
Clearwater, right?
number 10.
There. Yeah. That's. I watched over the weekend, guys.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
That happened often.
You guys both did. I was out of pocket.
I actually watched the 9 a.m. game.
I did not watch that.
Oh, where's your loyalty, Corey?
Yeah, I was
Where's
still
it
sleeping.
at? Cover the team or don't?
So, yeah, good point. Good point.
Jeff also had been up 3 hours.
Yeah,
ago.
that's right. Yeah, he's something to do.
I had worked out, gone for a jog, was
bored.
grilling at 9 a.m. It was time to go.
But it was pretty cool. Corey has a story up at warchant.com. People can go read it about the softball team and their hot start. And then the game, they've got Liberty today at 6.
Yeah.
And then Liberty's number 23, even though they've got off to a rough start because they were a good team last year. And then they've got this tournament coming up this week. But Lonnie's quotes, man, I thought she sounded pretty fired up.
Yeah, I think she knows these freshmen can play.
Yeah.
And we'll know when Kennedy Harp, who's one of the best players in the country, still hasn't played yet. She will play this season, but we don't know when. But that will just make the team even better. Yeah, they've recruited very, very well the last few years.
Yeah.
And they have probably the best left side of the infield in the sport. So that's cool.
So I like this question just because I think there's a lot of answers, a lot of choices. Steve wants to know, which baseball newcomer are you most excited to see in a real game?
Mike Trout.
Yeah, Stutzer might be my guy, and he may not even start. We'll see.
You know what's awesome about Aslan brought this up on Wake Up Warchant because I was telling him about the quote about Link comparing him to Mike Trout, and then he looked and saw that Stutzer retweeted it.
Yeah.
The D1 baseball tweet. Yeah, but man,
I'd pin it.
I don't think I would.
I would pin it.
But he's pretty confident in himself if he's retweeting his coach comparing him to Mike Trout, which gives me good vibes.
Well, also, when you're that kind of an athlete, again, like we'll see. He's going to have to do it in games that it can be a challenge adjusting the college pitching, but man, he is athletically
a freak.
He's been that guy's whole life. Like he
Which
plays
is
receiver
why
in
he's
football.
probably brimming with confidence.
Exactly.
It's like he runs. Remember how fast Deluzio was?
Yeah.
Crazy fast. I think he's that kind of athletic.
He's similar to Chase, which is crazy because Chase is an unbelievable athlete.
But the ball comes off his bat at a 108, 110.
So they said, I went to the scrimmage Saturday, and two people told me that he beat Chase in a race.
That's wild.
Yeah, he can
I
go.
mean, Chase can go.
The difference is Chase will run into a wall at that speed.
Which is not good because they need him to stay healthy, and they got to get him to dial it back a little bit.
If you were him, would you play Chase in center field to keep him away from the walls?
They still don't know. And what I think is interesting.
Because then he might run into one of your players.
So you've got a choice there. It's Chase Dowd and DeLamielleure, it looks like, in the outfield. And DeLamielleure is a corner outfielder. So it's going to be Chase or Dowd in all likelihood. And I think it's interesting. Chase can get to anything.
Yeah.
But they do have to get him to calm down. Because remember, he got hurt. And you need him to be a dominant base stealer, which I think he will be.
Yeah.
And you'd love for him
more
to lead
likely
off.
to get hurt in the corner, though, right? Because there's walls to run into. Like in the center field, the only wall you can run into is backwards, but you can run into a teammate.
They definitely worked at it. He knows. We talked to him a few weeks ago, and he talked about it. He's worked at it. They're all work. I mean, it's a big focus is him just staying healthy. But, man, he's got to me, he has to be in the lineup because of what he does on the bases. Like
absolutely.
The leads he takes are unbelievable.
Oh, it's comical.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's not afraid. And he'll, a walk and he's on third.
And they'll get picked off a couple times. It's going to happen, but the positives outweigh the negatives by a lot.
There are a lot of fast guys in baseball, but like when you're also you have that feel as a base runner, then it's pretty special.
Paulino's a guy, if I was going to go off the group of players that most people would pick, that you'd say a newcomer that you're excited about.
Yeah.
A lot of effortless power. They don't know where they're going to play him. They got to get him in somewhere. His bat, they've got DH options for days, like 3 or 4 guys that they can really look to. But he's somebody that I'm kind of excited about. And then for people that are wondering, right after this show, my interview with Mike Capozzi, he's going to go through the entire pitching staff. That runs next hour.
Nice.
Something to point out there. I saw Stokes. Have you seen Stokes? Did you see Stokes? So the Oregon transfer, the 6'7" kid. Yeah, he throws 97 to 100 pretty consistently.
At 6'7".
At 6'7". He gassed Miles on a 3-2 pitch, and he just decided to challenge him up in the zone because when you throw 98, you can.
Especially you're releasing it.
Yeah, down. Yeah, it's tough. But you can tell they're not sure exactly where it's going if he's not throwing the fastball. So he's got to he's got a nasty slider, but you got to throw for strikes for it to be effective. So this will be interesting, but he comes in and it sounds different when it hits the middle.
It'd be good if you got a legitimate closing option.
And he's a guy that they're contemplating kicking around possible Tuesday starts as well. I'm like, would you do that? Because they don't believe, this is interesting. I mean, it's the difference between college and pro baseball, but I don't think they really believe in having a bona fide closer. They want a multitude of arms that they can use in a given weekend situationally, and they all want him to be able to pitch more than one inning.
It'd be nice though if you're in the final game of a super
and you've
gotten to the 8th inning and you go, I got a guy that can give me 6 outs.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But I do like these teams I've talked about before, like some of these teams that will just bring arm after arm after arm, and like this guy goes from the 7th to the 9th this game, the next guy it's a different guy, or they're going situationally. I like that when you have if you have a lights out closer, that's awesome. But I also like having a bunch of dudes who you can go to
that you trust. Yeah.
In any situation.
Yeah. I got a crafty lefty here that is, guys are hitting, 087 off them from the left side. They've got back-to-back lefties in the lineup. I don't have to go get my closer and get this guy to get these 2 outs. They go get a guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that.
Glenn, real quick, mentioned Shane Robinson and how fast he was. And I mean, that's when I saw Stutzer, that was the first thing I thought of Shane Robinson. He's bigger.
Well, the fastest guy in the baseball program's history is Dion. But after
I didn't see him. I didn't cover him.
But I'm saying, after that, there's a lot of candidates that were just lightning fast.
Right out. The road to Omaha starts Friday, gents. That's from Sean. Yes, OG headliner.
Yeah.
Who would be your starters and lineups this Friday? Well, if you wait, you'll hear the head coach tell you.
Nice.
That you'll get tomorrow, unless you're already one of these upper crust
Renegade Room or your Warchant YouTube subscriber.
Here's
that's already out.
It will be, I think,
today.
Yeah, man, let's get that out there. Let's make it worth their while.
Here's what I think, Sean, to answer your question. What's going to happen? You're going to have Carnes behind the dish. Miles obviously at first. He's a beast. Probably Frazier at second. McCauley or Putnam at third. Right? They got to try to get Putnam's bat in there, but he doesn't have a position defensively. Kyle Fisher will probably be your shortstop. And then I just got done with the outfield. Chase, Dowd, and DeLamielleure will probably be your starting outfield.
Yeah, I think Putnam will win one of those jobs. So I think he'll probably be a third base. And
they got to get his bat in.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. And I'm a little surprised that, Gabe is not Frazier's not at shortstop, but apparently Cal has played really well and he's solid. Like I think Frazier's a little bit more athletic, but Cal has been very solid. And yeah, man,
I like the Cal Fisher at bats when he turns his back after taking a pitch. So it's unique,
and he's got some stuff to him.
He does, but he's also been good. He's a good hitter last year. He's want to be the
should be noted that I think they desperately. There's two things that I'll watch early in the season, and you don't have to be a finished product early in the year. You can be a work in progress that like okay, by season's end we need this, and this to happen. It's like we were trying to replace all that power after 24, but Carnes is a really good hitter behind the plate. He was not a good defensive catcher at all in the games that he played last year. He's got to become much better at throwing people out. He's got to be a much better receiver of the baseball. They know he's going to hit because he's got power. We saw that. But he's got to be much better defensively.
Well, and the problem is all their catchers were hurt through much of preseason.
Yeah.
So they didn't get a ton of at-bats. They didn't get a ton of not at-bats in terms of defensively. They didn't get a lot of time to work defensively with the rest of the infield. So I do think that may be a work in progress early this season.
From the rotation standpoint, Mendez, Beard, Moore is what I think we're looking at there. Moore is the Virginia transfer.
It's a nice group.
It's a really good group. There are other guys.
Beard's a preseason All-American, and Mendez is a returning starter.
Beard was all AAC at Florida Atlantic, and one of the things that you can clearly see they did with the people they brought in not just guys with good stuff, but they brought in guys that had pitched a lot.
Yeah.
They've seen them. This is like what we talked about.
The kid from Duke pitched a ton.
Yeah, they've got a lot of guys that have pitched an awful lot. So, no, that's the beauty of baseball where you play that many games and you bring in a bunch of different people and you have different pieces. Because, like, we haven't even talked about Sheffield, who they've got to figure out how many ABs they can get him because he can hit. I don't think he plays a position. They're trying to figure out, is he a second baseman? Is he an outfielder? Can I trust him? Link's not big on throwing people out there that can't pick up the baseball. And so, you can be able to hit, but if you don't have a position, he's not as readily, accessing you to go into games. So we'll see what they do with him. But I love that everywhere you look, the Virginia kid, the USC kid, the Oregon kid, the Florida Atlantic, there's a lot of guys that have pitched a lot of innings and been successful. And they've got guys from both sides, that different arm angles. I thought that roster construction a year ago was rightfully criticized. It's not ideal when you roll out three lefties on your weekend starting.
They also had a lot of
injuries.
And they had so much to replace from the year before. Again, you talked about that offense. I mean, that it's crazy. Looking back at that offense, it's just incredible.
Astronomical.
Lodis batted 7th or 8th.
I mean,
he was the National Player of the Year. He batted 7th in that lineup.
Well, and if you think about it too, one of the things that they got lucky with, or that they get credit for in development, is that so you're replacing all of that power, all those dongs.
So many dongs.
So dongs everywhere. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, Dongapalooza.
Yeah. So at 24, it's nothing but dongs.
Dong City.
And then 25, you're like, how are they going to keep up with all those dongs they lost? And then here we are. Man, like getting ready at the end of the year, you're looking at the numbers. You're like, man, they're within percentage points of the OPS from the year before.
The Dongtasm of 2024.
It was dongtastic. I mean, my God.
Donghauser Stadium. That's what we're calling it.
I can't pivot from that. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Healthy doesn't have to be perfect. Thrive Market makes it easy with small swaps, trusted ingredients, and personalized shopping that fits your lifestyle. It's the easiest way to make better choices without feeling overwhelmed, all delivered straight to your door. What if your wellness journey didn't feel like a series of sacrifices? It doesn't have to be boring or expensive. Thrive Market gets it. Instead of the struggle of trying to figure out what foods fit your health goals, Thrive Market does the hard work for you. Easily shop by 90+ and lifestyle filters to find exactly what fits without second guessing. High protein meals, low sugar treats, GLP-1 friendly options, or gluten-free staples. Thrive Market ensures the food you eat has the highest quality, free of all the sketchy ingredients. Join Thrive Market with my link, thrivemarket.com/headlines for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift card. Join Thrive Market with my link, thrivemarket.com/headlines for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift card.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Daytime highs approaching 74 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies, southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 56 with fog in spots tonight. Cloudy skies expected. Highs around 77 and foggy early tomorrow. Cloudy skies expected. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 75 degrees.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck? Tractor or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC, or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Rolling on Big River, but before we do, we got to say thanks to our friends at Tavello. I'm anxious to have what today would be a perfect day to be out on that deck at Tavello, huh?
I'll tell you what, yesterday was incredible too.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
this
it.
whole week's going to be all right to make your way over to Tavello. Find the bricks.
We made it through the worst winter of all time, Tallahassee. But now I actually got a great text message over the weekend from my friend Tim and Jamela, Tim's a professor at FSU. They're huge FSU fans, and they were at Tavello over the weekend. Sent me a little selfie of them with Maurice.
They were plastered. I saw that. They were just hammered.
I don't know. They were plastered.
I'm glad you didn't repost it.
They were enjoying themselves at Tavello, and you guys will too. And it's not just it's great beer, all the different varieties, the IPAs, the stouts, the lagers, the coffee blonde that we love
Pilsner,
so much. All the different varieties.
They've got them, buddy.
Then they've got
they've
got the frozen ciders. They've got, for everybody, all the different alcoholic drinks you want, other than liquor. There's no liquor there, but good people, man. Maurice and Lynn are awesome. You can bring a little flask
and buy some beer.
Sneak it in, yeah.
But Maurice and Lynn are awesome people. A lot of great people that come to Tavello. And as you said, now that the weather's warming up, you can get on that back patio.
Don't they have trivia too?
They do trivia. I think it might be competing with another place that has trivia on a certain night.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. But still, they have trivia if you're in Thomasville and want to go play trivia.
And I think they have one of the craft night things this Wednesday.
Well,
Kim and I are talking about going up there.
There you go.
So go to Tavello up there in Thomasville. It's a short ride. Go maybe have dinner, do some shopping, and go into Tavello.
There's yarn.
All the different
There's
kinds.
yarn everywhere in Thomasville.
Maurice and Lynn, we've told you, huge Knowles. They got married at a Florida State football game, and they'll talk a little Florida State football with you.
Brandon wrote a Seymour here that is, legendary in terms of its length. Nice. But I'm going to read it because
the whole thing?
Hold on. I previewed it, Corey.
Okay. Nice.
How about that?
Well, that's not normal for this show.
Doesn't happen.
He's been requesting you to do that for
a long
15
time.
Years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think this is going to be
Brandon
a trend.
should be flattered that you took the time to read it.
Well, he's been a good poster in the past.
Okay.
And I gave him his just due because I thought it was impressive. So I thought, all right, Brandon, you've earned my gift of reading the Seymour.
Okay.
And then as I did, I was like, this isn't bad.
All right.
So everybody bear with me here as I get
We'll be the judge of that.
You guys decide. Now, if you want to rip Brandon after this is over, you feel free. But here you go. In this new NIL and transfer portal era, we're seeing programs like Indiana and Texas Tech aggressively use money and the portal just to stay competitive every year. With Florida State, it feels like the short-term reality may be that you have to spend more up front to rebuild the logo before the brand can start recruiting for itself again. I know it looks like the program's cash-strapped right now with all the renovations and the new football facility, but if FSU can start winning consistently again, I believe those pockets will open up and money won't be as big an issue anymore. This isn't even factoring in how replacing a coaching staff can reset the entire timeline and set things back even further. I know this approach isn't new. FSU won 13 games in 2023 by leaning heavily on the portal, but the bigger question is about sustainability. What is it realistically going to take to reestablish the Florida State brand so that the logo is once again respected, feared, mentioned nationally as a top-tier program, where consistent winning stabilizes high school recruiting, limits roster turnover, and allows FSU to only use the portal for, say, 5 to elite difference makers instead of rebuilding an entire roster every year. And then he has one last one. Or is heavy NIL spending and constant roster churn simply the permanent cost of staying relevant in college football?
That's where that's where I am, Brandon. I appreciate the question, and I appreciate, it is a good question. There's a lot of things to talk about there. We can sink our teeth into it, but I do think at the end of the day, like I don't think anybody, you might get somewhat of a discount for being an elite program that's had success putting guys in the NFL, like Kirby Smart. I think he probably gets a discount. I think Nick Saban used to get a discount, but I don't think it's going to be a game-changing discount where guys are just going to be dying to play at Florida State because of the logo, and you don't have to just keep paying.
But I also don't think I don't think any team will ever have moving forward, as long as we're in this current landscape, a good program will just sign 5 guys out of the portal. Like, I don't think that's you're going to lose. I mean, Georgia lost 18 guys. Like, you've got to go to the portal and get guys, even if they're not stars. But yeah, you'd like to be in a spot where you can raise your own and then just go hand pick at a couple of different positions, some superstars, did Miami do that last year? I mean, I know they had some of their own guys, but I feel like that whole secondary,
the
whole secondary was new guys. Yeah. So I just think that's what, and Indiana obviously did too. So
I think the areas that you've seen the biggest change in NIL, the portal period, is that you really do have to go and build your offensive line for the most part through high school recruiting. Find the studs, pay them out the gates. It sucks to have to bring them in.
Multi-year contracts would be nice.
And bring them in, because you're seeing a lot of homegrown guys on the offensive line for the better programs. Also because there's not a lot of elite linemen in the portal. So
that's great for Miami.
I think you're always going to have to go out and go get quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back, running back, those positions. To your point, Ira, I think, there's a lot of churn there. But I think if you're going to build a dominant line of scrimmage, you got to do that through high school recruiting. And you got to pay those kids. You got to pay the best players at those positions. And it sucks, but they're so hard to find.
I also wonder the question about if Florida State can get the brand, the logo and the brand, and get that back. Well, you got to win games, period. But it takes one season, and you're Florida State again.
I think it takes a couple games, man.
Yeah.
They beat Alabama.
Yeah, they were the talk of the sport for a month.
And they're number 8 in the country.
Yeah.
After going 2-10.
Yeah.
They had one real win after going 2-10, and they're number 8 in the country.
Yeah.
The logo will come back.
And you got the field stormed on you.
Yeah.
It was Florida State got the field stormed. A 2-10 team got the field stormed on them 4 games into the next season. So by a team that went on to win 11 games. So you win and Florida State's brand comes back. But I do warn and caution this. Nobody's going to be top 8, top 6, I don't think, in this sport. Maybe except for Ohio State. We'll see, as long as this persists. There's always going to be turnover and churning. I don't think you can't think every year you're going to be a top 8, top 6 program anymore. It's just the parity is too much. And you've just got to be in contention to be good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even Alabama. Alabama's got more resources. Texas has got more resources. We'll see what Texas is next year.
Preseason number 1.
No, the year after that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to maintain now. Because your really good players that are depth pieces could go somewhere else. So we'll see.
Real quick, Matt in the chat asked if Tavello has any non-alcoholic beers. He's been sober for 4 years. Congratulations, Matt. That's awesome. He wants to support localish breweries, but he's not going to drink. I don't believe they do, but I'll talk to Maurice about it and see if that's something they can offer. I don't know if they've considered it or not. Maybe they do. Don't know.
You
if they
could
do.
be besmirching Tavello's good name. They could have the best non-alcoholic.
As far as we know, they do not. But
we wouldn't know it.
But I will bring it up. I'll bring it up. Congratulations to you, Matt. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome, buddy. And let's get off our ass, Maurice, if it hasn't happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Now you know what you got to work on this spring.
I mean, you've been exposed. But goodness gracious.
Putting a bow on that to Brandon's question, the concern you have and a lot of people have is to get anywhere near that point. So many things have to go right for Florida State at this point with Mike Norvell to get high school recruiting back to what it is. Again, it's just the odds are against them.
Yeah, he flew it into the side of a mountain.
Yeah, but I will say this, man. I was not upset that Gus Malzahn left.
No.
I'm not upset that Mike Norvell's calling plays. I think the Gabe Fertitta hire is a nice hire. I think I like what I've seen from this team in terms of just the guys they've brought in, the kinds of guys they brought in. being around them a little bit at these flag football things they do on Friday nights. Like, I like these newcomers. Again, we'll see what it looks like, but there's been some things I feel good about. I'm really looking forward to spring football.
Just keep stacking those 8-4s, baby.
Just get 1 8-4.
Well, I will say that when you've gone sub 500 back-to-back years, people would take 8-4. People would take 8-4,
well,
and they'd be excited about it.
The fans in Gainesville. They would do cartwheels for 8-4 this year.
Yeah. I don't think either fan base will do cartwheels for 8-4, but they'll take 8-4.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
I probably overstated that.
Cartwheels are happening.
I might do a cartwheel for
8-4. Imagine going to a bowl.
I'll do a keg stand for 8-4.
Well, there you go.
Let's go, Jeff.
Imagine
All
covering
right.
a bowl. Wouldn't that be something to go to a bowl again? Like a real bowl game. We haven't been to a real bowl game since the Cheez-It Bowl.
You know what's sad? I'm getting worried, fellas. So my dad and I are sitting there having a beverage, watching the Florida State Notre Dame basketball game Saturday afternoon. And
that kid just bricking free throw after free throw.
Oh, it was glorious. And I'm bringing food off the grill when I turn and say, man, it seems like a long time ago that we beat Oklahoma. And my dad goes, when the hell did we beat Oklahoma?
It wasn't.
And I go, Dad, in Orlando at the Cheez-It Bowl, Camping World Stadium, the famed Camping World Stadium.
Yes.
Yeah. And he goes, I don't even, I go, Dad.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
Johnny Wilson's rolling over in his grave.
You do realize, Dad, that Oklahoma, sadly, even though I love Oklahoma, owns our ass.
And
he goes, I'm well aware they own our ass. I flew out there with you to Norman. I was at the night game here at Doak. I'm like, that's why it was a big deal to beat them in the Cheez-It Bowl. We're only like 2-6 if memory serves against them all time. That was our second win against them. He goes, I just don't even remember the game.
So he must not have come. Why didn't he come to the game?
He didn't go to that game.
That was a great
because
weekend.
It's the Cheez-It Bowl.
It was
like,
a good,
hell
that was a
if
good
I'm
time.
going to
I would
Orlando
say,
for the Cheez-It Bowl.
I agree with that,
we had
too.
a good time.
I did, too. It was awesome.
We had a great time because of the setup.
Yeah. But when you're a Florida State fan, like I said, maybe you don't do cartwheels over the Cheez-It Bowl win, but it was very memorable.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Dylan Gabriel's quarterback. Jordan Travis had a great game. Johnny Wilson, it was fun.
That game and those two LSU games were a lot of fun, man.
Like,
that
was the high points.
Especially after going through the Willie stuff.
Those were the high points of the Norvell.
Oh, the Alabama win was a big one.
But that's a good point.
It fell off the mountain at the time.
Yeah. But that is the point, though. Like, you can, after 20 and 21, 2019, 2018, that whole stretch, and then to have that Oklahoma win, it was huge. And then the LSU wins were huge. So that you do reset your expectations. So if you go 8-4, and if you go 8-4, you're going to have some good wins in there.
And you're going to have some theoretically good players that are coming back and help you get 8 wins.
Ira, to your point, with this schedule, if you win 8 games, you beat some people.
You're a top 20 team if you go 8-4, I think, of that schedule.
Sean writes,
"Hey, Life Spectre, don't bring up the Oklahoma's 6-6. We don't need
Doesn't
that
matter.
negativity.
Doesn't matter.
It was Oklahoma.
Get it out.
Come on, man.
Take it on down the road with that Live Spectator. I also understand that 3/5 of their offensive line
doesn't matter.
Take it on
We're
down
not
the
worried
road.
about that.
Starting running back didn't play either. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Jordan Travis threw for 400 yards.
A dub is a dub.
Just take it on down the road with that. Sean writes, when we play Boston College, can we get a live video blog with the Warchant media teams and the BC media teams? I think it would be more entertaining than much of the content that's been put out. Also, maybe one of you follows Trevor from the BC media.
That's right. I just remembered his name right before he said Trevor. I was like, that's that guy's name is Trevor.
This is
what
funny.
do you got, Trevor? Wasn't that what O'Brien said?
Trevor?
Yeah.
What do you got, Trevor?
Yeah. The second part of Sean's question was great. He said, also, maybe one of you guys follow Trevor from the BC media home. See what his living situation's like, how he's doing in life.
I don't do that.
I don't. Is Trevor the one? I don't know. There's one guy.
It's definitely Trevor. The one that speed talks is Trevor.
Trevor's scared to death.
Bill.
Oh, Bill.
But Bill loved him after he got that question
did.
he didn't like from the guy that doesn't show up much and he only complains. And the answer is like, what? Yeah. What do you got, Trevor? Like he knew Trevor was about to ask a question.
Yeah, I can always fall back on that bootlicker Trevor. He's not going to ask
well,
me
hey,
anything
don't be
tough.
like that.
He's not going to ask me any tough questions.
Might have to share a press box with Trevor in a few months.
Oh, that still makes me laugh. Yeah, he fell back on old Trevor Dunn, didn't he? Yeah.
Augie Knowles said that he saw you in the stands, I think, for the Oklahoma game, and you said Keon Coleman's an NFL wide receiver, but that wouldn't have been the Oklahoma game. That was Johnny Wilson. Yeah. Keon was the next year,
and
it must have been a different game.
Yeah, it was a different game.
He was talking about the LSU game.
The LSU game. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I think we all said he was an NFL receiver.
Absolutely is. Appreciate the time. Already got that one. Sorry.
I don't know if you remember this. I said Jared Verse was an NFL defensive lineman.
Good call.
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
that took that LSU game in 23.
Ira, I've got to seriously question when the questions were posted.
No, it was posted okay. Just people are not interested right now. Not a lot of Twitter questions.
Man.
Yeah. No, it's a
Facebook
slow
came
time
through,
of year.
though. Facebook came through.
Boy, I tell you what, that's disheartening. Gang.
Yeah, man. I posted
I understand
it
it's a
yesterday.
tough time of year. The calendar in sports has changed dramatically.
Right.
But because this is, thank God baseball starts this week.
And listen, man, we can all talk about how much it's a good indication of where people say, oh, you should spend more money in baseball. You should spend more money on stuff.
Yeah, it's football.
Yeah,
calm it down.
Football's what people.
football. I wanted to ask y'all a question though. You didn't, but did you see the North Carolina Duke game?
I watched the whole thing from start to finish. By the
So
way,
they had 2 court stormings.
can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Before you ask me what you're going to ask me?
It might be the same question.
Tell me you were appalled at the students charging the court.
Of course.
I can't.
What are you
how would that
doing?
even happen?
What are you?
Here's
North
the thing.
Carolina.
It's ridiculous. They just want to do it because it's fun. They
It's
never get to
dumb.
do it. They don't.
It's-
Why only do mediocre schools get to rush the court?
It's
Those
just
students like to rush the court too.
Ridiculous.
But
You look
here's-
small. You look pitiful.
But they
I
rushed the
couldn't
court.
believe it.
They did a little
and then
mini
there was
one.
0.4 of a second left.
My issue with basketball that I've hated for 20 years. So when should the clock stop on a made
basket?
When
Once
the ball goes through the rim or when it hits the ground?
No, when
They
it
do
goes
it when
through
it
the
goes through the
rim.
rim.
When
That's
it's
what they do.
underneath the cylinder.
Idiotic. Because it doesn't stop at any other time in the 40 minutes. The ball goes through the rim. The clock, even if it's going to stop in the final minute of the first half, it stops when the ball hits the ground.
Yeah, because they make that more discernible for officials.
So the ball through the rim or the ball through the net? That was a buzzer beater. The ball hit the ground with zeros on the clock. That's a Michael Snare. We'd have never gotten to enjoy any of those because you have to put 0.6 back on the clock. I mean,
I listen,
you know what I'm
the way
saying?
They've screwed this up in the NBA and in college basketball, at least in terms of stoppages. There are so many stoppages.
So I did it. I
Just
went back.
stop the
Did you see my
nonsense.
tweet? So Jeff Colhane said he saw it because he couldn't believe it. So the last 39.5 seconds of the Florida State Notre Dame game.
Oh, yeah.
15 minutes.
23 minutes.
Yeah,
of real time.
I was watching, and my dad was getting
minutes.
Yeah, he was like, "This is what
I
are we
was
doing?"
sitting at the car because I had a reunion thing this weekend, so I was down in South Florida, and I was sitting in the car when it was like 40 seconds left, and I was waiting to go in.
Yeah, but you had to. The reunion was over.
I'm listening to it on the
missed
radio,
it.
and I'm like, finally, I said, I can't do this. I can't sit in this car for 25 minutes. So I finally went inside, and I had to see on Twitter that they won the game.
I'm glad you went inside because at your age, somebody could have passed.
Oh yeah.
By the time that Notre Dame game ended,
a reunion, or I was in South Florida. I could have got held up. I will say this one thing. I'm not to disparage South Florida. You guys know how much I love South
your
Florida.
heart. That's your heart.
Yeah.
Everybody I talked to that lives down there was all like, "Yeah, man, we got to get out of here." Like they were all like,
Not Ira.
and I'm like, I can't wait. I want to move back. I
Yeah,
want to move
you
back.
guys leave these nice houses. I'm coming in.
And they're all like, "No, we got to get out of here."
Did the Coke money dry up?
No,
Why they want to leave
it's
Miami?
just the traffic and
The traffic is something.
traffic's a big thing.
I go down there a lot. I'm more in Pembroke Pines than true Miami.
Well, that's
but-
where the reunion was.
Yeah.
Well,
And
it was in Miramar.
I'm
close to Pembroke
frequently
Pines.
in Pembroke Pines, and every time I'm down there and we start going places,
You're
I'm like,
frequently in Pembroke
oh,
Pines.
buddy, this guy here, I know.
Did you know
I'm in
that?
South Beach every
Yeah.
month.
Buddy,
I got my place on the beach.
I got my card. I go wherever I want around Miami. You don't worry
Card.
about me. My dad went. I mean, look, when you have parents that went to Edison and Hialeah,
true.
you're birthed in,
You're
and then I've
Pembroke
got
for
boys
life.
in Pembroke. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm
I
down
hear
there.
you.
They know me. They see me. They're like, "What's up, Cameron?"
My dad's from Dania. Just throwing that out there.
I was,
Dania High Life.
in Dania. I had
There you go.
breakfast in Dania.
All right. It's all
Every
happening.
place we've been or know people from, I was there this past week.
Yeah.
Trying to wait for the
The
FSU
basketball
Notre Dame
game
to end at some point.
Ridiculous.
Morgan takes
That
a
clock
shot.
operator for the Notre Dame, that MVP, they would not start the clock. They would not.
I
They
know.
literally would not start the
They
clock.
got to stop with that nonsense,
It's
by the way. That
ridiculous.
has to be like a universal thing, like that you're not in control of. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
Let's go. They're in. Morgan just took a shot at the AD, which a lot of people do these days. He wrote
Just
I'm
now took a shot?
Just curious whether or not the AD has a $60 million buyout.
No, his is a lot less expensive than
a
that.
lot less expensive, Morgan. You don't have to worry about that. Guys, we can say goodbye.
We did it.
We
Made
done?
it.
We
We powered through.
did it.
Sickness
It's
and
over.
all.
Yeah,
Sickness
we're
and
done.
all.
Big win tonight for the Noles against Virginia. What do you guys call it? Call it.
Hey,
Who's gonna
shout
win?
out to Brady. He starts his varsity baseball season today.
All
I
right,
couldn't be
good
there
luck,
for
Brady.
it, so hopefully he does well.
Good luck,
And I
Brady.
think Virginia's going to win by 8.
Man, this guy.
Maybe 7. The spread's 7.5.
We got to shut up now.
All right, sorry.
Next, Mike Capozzi's in the next hour. Be listening, everybody. Peace.